Yeah. Hi. Thanks for having me. Yeah. So Klonoa to Phantom Miles is the 80% TAS. Um, it's a little outdated in terms of some of the strats we do, but most of it translates to what we do nowadays. It's a really cool TAS, really cool speed run. I only started running this year, and I'm currently fourth place in 80%. So yeah, I'm ready to start the TAS whenever you are.
Tech is ready to
Um,
go on our end, so feel free to count us down.
yeah, sure. So we'll go in three, two, one, go. So yeah, Klonoa to Phantom Mile. This is a task from 2018 by Lapogne. Lapogne is a reputable PlayStation glitch hunter, former speedrunner, and a tasser. This task really opened the door to a lot of the tech that we do nowadays in the run. You're going to be seeing a lot of out of bounds wall clips. They're actually one frame, and they were only originally task only. But we have found RTA setups that are viable for them, which is awesome. Um, so yeah, um, the TAS is on the American PS1 version, but the optimal version for speedrunning is actually we play on the Namco Election PS2 re-release that was only available in Japan, specifically not because of the but doesn't matter of course. The first few levels are pretty simple. You're going to see Klonoa jump. So when you're going up a slope, it's actually faster to jump. It actually gets Klonoa a little bit more distance. So you'll see Klonoa do a lot of jumps going up slopes. And usually in the speedrun doesn't really make too much of a difference, but some runners will do it, some runners won't. I don't do it personally. I just do normal running. I just feel like the jumping's tedious, but for task purposes, obviously you're gonna want to save those frames. So yeah, the meat of the tasks really starts to show. I'd say in like Vision 2.1, 2-1, 2-2. The first few levels are pretty basic. You're just doing so the moves in the game that Klonoa is grabbing, those are going to be used for platforming skips as well as the one frame clips. They're very essential to a speedrun. So yeah, we grab them as we go. So we press the grab button at the same time as jump to get the right inputs. But yeah, 1-1 is pretty simple. 1-2, there's actually a skip in the task at the very end of the vision that is not RTA possible currently. It is really cool though. It's an example of a sequence break, but not a full like out of bounds um, clip. The Some of the sequence breaks in the games are just literally abusing the 2.5D platform. As you know, this game is a 2.5D game, so we abuse the platform as much as we can. There's some auto scrollers parts in the run, like this right here. This is one of like not really many auto scrolls, but you can't really do much on this. You kind of just mess around here, and you can collect the jewels if you want, but they don't really do anything other than give you extra lives. They're not really needed for the task of the speed run. Um, so yeah, not really much going on over here. But coming up, we're gonna be jumping off this like windpipe. It's actually one frame to get that jump perfectly as on console, so it's really hard to get that consistently. um and then the last section coming up, we are going to have, like I said, a sequence break that is not RTA viable currently. It's going to show you what you can do with timing the moves when they spawn, and just the platform abuse with the 2.5D plane. So it's coming up a little bit after this. So you're gonna go up to this bridge, you're gonna shoot that, there you go. This is all normal, and then you're gonna get up here, and then you're gonna get the moves over here, and then you're gonna do a little platforming skip coming up right now. So like that, and there you go. And that's not RTA viable currently, but maybe in the future, you never know. um, the bosses in this game actually what make the run pretty hard. This one is very simple, Rongo Lango, or Rango Longo. I honestly confuse the names sometimes, but the task strats are a lot different than what we do RTA. What we do RTA is we do damage abuse like we do here, only this is a little bit more complicated and it's actually a lot more riskier. But as you can see, the swag kills are pretty awesome, and that was a pretty quick boss. Very, very cool. So 2-1 actually has a door clip that was found, I think, this past year, but it's obviously because this task is kind of outdated. It's from 2018, so you're not going to see a door clip, but I'll point it out when it happens. 2-1, it's a very very simple level. Like I said, we don't really get to the complexity levels until 2-2 and then like 3-1 and beyond. It's just a lot of just basic platforming, doing the jumps with slopes, and so on and so forth. And yeah, there's not much going on right now. I don't know if you can't do a key skip here. So like in the game, there's these doors and they have keys, and some of these doors are going to be able to skip with the one frame clips coming up later. This one I don't think you can. There's one in the next room that you can skip that's RTA viable. It's pretty consistent. It's just not done in the TAS again. There hasn't been a TAS done since 2018, unfortunately. You're going to keep this move all the way to the end, right over here. Actually, you know, in the TAS, you're going to grab that move, and then you're going to get this key. There's actually a leaf cycle you want to catch. But again, you can skip this door and this animation completely now. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. I don't know if there's time for, like, you guys have any donations? Because, again, this level's pretty simple in terms of just the platforming, what we do compared to, like, the speedrun. If there's any donations, maybe you can read those off right now.
No donations quite yet, but we would yet to see. You can visit donate.tasgiving.org to go ahead and donate to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. You can learn more about the National Alliance on Mental Illness at nami.org. That's nami.org.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, so 2-2, this is when we start getting a little more complexities of the run, where actually there's a wall clip that's going to happen in the cave section. This one's currently not RTA viable, but as you can see, like, Klonoa is going to grab a moo in a little bit, and he's just going to clip through the wall, and it's just really insane how it happens, but I can explain it when it happens and how it actually works in the game. But yeah, so more scenery abuse right here. You're going to do double jump here, get there, and then that actually skips that whole section. So yeah, you're gonna grab a move right here, and he's gonna clip through this wall right here, like that. That's a one frame clip. So what happens in the game is when Klonoa is holding a move, if you're holding up or down, so if you're facing forward or facing back, and you have to continue to hold that, and if you tap lightly on the D-pad, you need to tap, like I said, it's one frame. Klonoa will slowly inch into the wall, and you can use that to clip in walls. And so again, these clips were only TAS for the longest time, and then I honestly, I don't know who discovered the RTA viable setups, because I just started running this game this year, but in 2018 is when they started becoming RTA viable, and you started seeing them happen more and more in the run, and they really changed the run. They brought the run down several minutes, which is really amazing. We're gonna see more of them later on. They're more used in the later levels, and they're really cool. They're also really cool to have to do RTA in the run. They're a very satisfying trick. They're gonna do a damage abuse here and get past this move, and then we're gonna block that move. We're just gonna do a quick grab on this one and do a double jump. Another thing to mention also, I forgot to mention, is with moves you can also do like space double jumps, because with Klonoa you can only do a single jump and you can only glide, but with moves you can do double jumps as well as space double jumps, and they really help with platforming sections. So the next boss is Cursed Pamela. Cursed Pamela is a pretty hard boss. It's heavily reliant on RNG, but I assume with the TAS we will get the perfect RNG, which is getting the boss to charge at you 4 times. So if you get the boss to charge you 4 times, you can grab the enemy and then quickly throw, and as you see, it works out perfectly. It looks like there is no RNG workaround for this, but you're able to still grab the boss really quickly and just hit it onto the enemy really quickly, like that. These quick grabs, these quick throws, so not really actually reliant on RNG, but just more of quick execution. And that was just phenomenal. That was a insanely fast boss. On average, I would assume probably that's like 30 seconds faster than like an RTA normal run. But that was awesome. So 3-1, this is when the run starts to get a little bit more complicated with the clips. So this is when we start seeing a lot of the wall clips in action, with skipping more of the doors with keys, as well as getting into areas we're not supposed to. So it's just gonna blow your mind. Yeah, and more jumping up slopes. Some of the levels you have to do some convoluted, like, very linear stuff before you can progress. Like right here, you have to talk to this guy over here before you can progress to the level before the elevator is activated. So you go over here, then you go back over here. I think there might be the cycle skip coming up. So you maybe you grab this move right here, and then I think they're going for the cycle skip. Wait. Yeah. No, so this, I think they're trying to go for the gondola cycle skip right here. So you grab this key right here, and then flip out bounds right here, and then you just double jump, and you get back on the scenery. That's crazy. You can actually do an animation skip right here. Like there you go. That's RTA viable too. That's just a lot harder. Animation skips, you'll also see those in 3.2. That was really cool. This is one of the harder door clips in the run, especially on NAM Collection. On NAM Collection, it's really, really precise. On PS1, the version the TAS is on is actually... Oh, okay, so they went for the key clip. So that's actually pretty simple, but you can actually also clip through that door. You don't have to do the key clip. You can actually just clip through the door entirely and not get the key. On PS1, it's way easier. PS2, it's really hard. Really, really hard. And again, when I say PS2, I meant the NAM Collection re-release, which is what the speedruns are done on optimally. Also to note, hold on one second. Okay, so never mind. To note, the English version, which is what the TAS is done on, the intro cutscene is actually skippable. On the Japanese version, it's not. So it's just a fun fact. It looks like they're not doing the wall. So you can actually, this is another door you can actually clip through. We clipped through this one in the speedrun. They were able to at least get the key fast and do another 2.5D plane abuse, but they did not do the door clip. So nowadays in the speedrun, there's actually a door clip for that. It is probably the hardest clip in the run, in my opinion. It is very, very finicky, and it is just, it's one of those clips that can kick you out super easily. So now the goal, this is another auto scroller part of the run, but we need to keep this moo, because if we're able to keep this moo at the end of the auto scroller, we can actually use it to do a double jump and then destroy a crate that leads to a spring that gets us to the end of the level. So the whole goal is to just keep this moo on this platform until the end. As you can see, because it's a TAS setting, you gotta swag out and look like you're gonna get close to losing it, but you're not really going to anyway. So you keep this move until the very end, and then you do a double jump right here, which destroys this crate. Actually, no. We're actually not doing that. We are actually getting the switch. Fooled you. We're actually getting the switch from the elevator. I had you guys there. So yeah, now we're able to actually skip that whole section what we do normally in the run, and we get to the end. Very, very cool 2.5D abuse. Very, very nice. 3-2 is a very, very linear level in the speedrun. There's a skip that's theorized, but it actually doesn't work because the whole level is based on a mechanism that leads to the elevator, leads to the Division 3 boss. And you have to activate that mechanism for the elevator to actually work. So there's no current way to skip it, but maybe in the future, you never know. So yeah, this level is very straightforward, even though there will be a lot of cool tricks shown off. It's a very straightforward level. You have to basically just get through this. I think it might be the longest split in the run, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the longest split. There's still a lot of cool things going, so you have to get this key. And I think there will be the animation skip on the key coming up. This has it has 2 RTA viable strats, and it's not too bad, actually. So let's see, it works similar to the animation skip done in 3.1. So yeah, okay, so what they did there was you have to throw that enemy, and then you try to grab it again while you're walking through the door, and it'll just skip the animation. It's pretty cool. And again, that's RTA viable. Not the exact setup, but that was and then they just did another wall clip there too, just to get to the switch quicker. That was pretty sick. And again, this level is very straightforward, but it's still got a lot of cool tech in it. And these moves that we have right now, these red moves, these are exploding moves. So they're also on a timer when you release them. So it's really tricky because there's going to be a switch coming up, and they're going to throw it. They're gonna wall clip and throw it, and then get out, and then the doors open. So in the speed run, we normally go all the way around to that switch, and put the move there, and then we have to run all the way back before the door closes. But in the TAS, you just clip through the wall, you throw it in front of you, it hits the switch. Oh my god, you'll love to see it. And then there's gonna be another animation skip coming up. This one's one was not RT viable. This one is. So you release it, and then jump again, and there you go. You animation skip. Really, really cool stuff. Now that we've activated the mechanism, the elevator that leads to the end of the level actually is running. So we can now go to the end of the level and go to the next boss, which the next boss is the worst boss in the whole run. Literally, I almost quit running the game because of how bad this boss was. In a TAS sense, it's gonna look a lot cooler though than what we usually do. It's still a cool boss either way, but Gelgbolm's just this giant armored like turtle thing. You basically have to hit it with double jumps with moves. That cycle also, you can't skip the cycle. You have to wait on this mechanism cycle. There's no way of skipping it currently. So yeah, you just maneuver with the mechanism. This is nothing really.
All right, we have a $50 donation.
Oh, good.
We have a $50 donation from Purple Spyro fan. Let's go, Dill. Channeling good luck for your commentary. DylWin gets.
Thanks, Spyro.
Thank you very much
Appreciate
for that. You can always donate at donate.TASBot. You can always donate at donate.TASBot.org to support NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, or you can find out about these the alliance at NAMI.org.
Very, very cool. Thanks for that donation, Spyro. I appreciate it. And as well as the marathon also probably appreciates it. So yeah, that was the end of 3-2. Now we're going to Gelgbolm. Gelgbolm, you can only damage the boss in the middle, as you see. So he has an armored shell, and you can only damage the center. So in the TAS, what we're going to be doing is the first hit. That's usually what we do in the RTA setting. But now we're going to try to get even faster hits. So we have to use these spring mechanisms, as well as we have to manipulate the position of the boss. So getting the boss in these specific positions gets him on a cycle where you can actually damage him to your favor. And this is also similar to what we do in the RTA setting. So these formations are optimal. And this is very similar to what we do in the RTA setting. We're going to do a quick kill right there, and then we're going to do one last kill. We're going to actually get damage abuse right there, get inside, and then kill him with the move. And that was phenomenal. That strat, the last hit, they actually used to do something similar to that in RTA, but thankfully a faster and easier strat was found. That strat actually looks horrible. All right, so 4-1. This has a lot of cool things in the run. It has a few clips, as well as a 2.5D plane abuse skip at the end of the run. So there's gonna be a giant wall clip right there, and then there's gonna be the bigger one coming up right here. This skips like a majority of the levels. You go right there, boom. 1 frames are not hard in a TAS setting. So yeah, you just do a few wall clips. You get through that first section. The second section is more straightforward, but there's going to be like I said, there's going to be a 2.5D, or like it's just a platforming skip. We're going to abuse the moves and the spawn cycles of the moves, and we're going to use those to our advantage and get some space double jumps and be able to traverse up to the end. So we're going to use this move right here. We're going to use the move coming up right here. We're going to go up here, and we're going to actually use this move, this one, space this out very tightly, and you do that. And there you go, the level's done. And that's RTA viable. It's not as quick, of course, in an RTA setting, but you can do that in an RTA setting, and it saves a buttload of time. 4-1 is one of the shortest levels in the just for reference. So 4-2, it's another very straightforward level. There isn't really a whole bunch to it, but there are some little skips and tricks you can do in this level to make it go slightly faster. I'm not sure. So there's actually a quick move grab you can get later on in the run that in the next room that actually prevents you from taking damage. I actually discovered that, which is like one of like the 5 strats I've ever discovered in speedrunning. It just helps you from not taking damage. So yeah, you do something similar in the TAS setting, but in an RTA setting you actually have to line yourself up with the floor, with pixels. It all works out. So Yeah, this level is very straightforward. Again, there's not too much to it. It's just optimizing your platforming movement as well as like your moo grabs, your moo throws, your double jumps. They actually were able to not take damage there and get a frame perfect moo grab throw. That's awesome. Usually in the speedrun setting, take damage there, whether you like it or not, whether it's 1 or 2 times. And it looks like, so they're not taking the moo, so it's actually slightly faster to damage abuse there and not take the first moo. And then we're gonna use this moo to destroy that and go to the end. See, this level, it really doesn't have a whole lot going for it. It's one of the more boring levels of the run, I will admit. But not a problem. This is actually one of the easiest bosses in the run. This boss is very Palladium. I literally almost forgot the name of the boss. I haven't ran this game since October, so it's been a little while. But yeah, so Palladium. So you want to just basically hit. He has 8 pieces, 8 triangles, but you can hit 2 of them at once with just a good timing of the move throw as well as a good positioning. You can hit 2 at once like that. So it calls Palladium 4 cycle. Again, just a lot of showing off for the TAS. But yeah, and it has different like attacks based on RNG. The worst one is that yellow guy. That yellow guy is the worst attack to get. But quick Palladium 4 cycle, awesome, terrific. The next level is 5-1, and 5-1 is another very straightforward level. I think it's like the last like straightforward level of the run, because then after 5-1, you just start. You can just plow through the rest of the levels. 5-1 has 4 orbs you need to get. It's called the 4 orbs. And you basically need 4 orbs to unlock the door to lead to the elevator that leads to 5-2. But there are a few skips you do in the TAS/run within this level. So there's going to be abuse of the 2.5D plane as well as more wall clips. Who doesn't love more wall clips? So it doesn't matter which path you take first. I usually go left first, but it doesn't really matter. So we're actually first going to be getting the green orb first. So we're actually going to take this moo and we're going to take it outside and we're going to throw it as we're falling off and die. And we're actually going to hit the checkpoint that we're not supposed to hit. So we're going to jump off, throw it there. We hit the checkpoint there. So now that we hit the checkpoint, we respawn back over here where we're not supposed to be. And we're at the end of the green orb section. So that skips most of the green orb section. That's RTA viable too. Pretty easy trick too. That's actually like a trick that like anybody can do. It's also a checkpoint. But anyway, so now we want to get the yellow orb. The yellow orb, a little less fancy. A little more of the straightforward paths, but still some cool platforming going on. Again, more jumping up the slopes. I'm just not used to seeing this because I just don't do it myself. But I know some runners do the jumping up the slopes like this. So yeah, we're gonna get some quick moo grabs, and we're actually gonna be doing a damage abuse strat to actually get one of the moves in the air. So we're gonna right here. Actually, no, never mind. I keep missing the TAS up with RTA. But anyway, still some quick moo grabs. Nothing to it. So now we're gonna get the red and blue orbs. So the blue orb has a wall clip, a very hard wall clip. One of the harder ones in the run. The red orb is more straightforward, just platforming, damage abusing, all the fun stuff. And again, it doesn't matter which one you do first. Doesn't matter. It really, there's no cycles you need to catch or anything in this level. The next level actually will be based on cycles. The next level actually has the whole level is based on cycles. And it's one of the harder levels to master. So we actually have to hit those two thingies, and then we're gonna go over here because we need those to traverse to the end of the level. We're just gonna go over here. Actually, we don't have to flutter in the TAS. Usually in the RT we flutter there, but since it's the TAS, we can just get really good jumps. Damage abuse here, get past that flame, and there you go. It's the red orb. Now we need the blue. Excuse me, the blue orb. The blue orb, again, wall clip, very nice trick. God, I love the TAS because they just always want to show off, especially with like triggering elevators and walking away and getting back on them before they're about to leave. So we're gonna get the blue orb. So blue orb, we'll be doing that. Little space double jump, and we're using the moo up here to wall clip right now, and just clip through the wall, and there you go. way faster than the RTA setting. RTA setting is super difficult for that. You actually have to get a really good jump into the wall. But yeah, that was 5-1. Very, even though it's straightforward, very fun level. And very cool to see in the TAS setting. So now we have 5-2. And 5-2 is based on a whole cycle in the level. So we have to make sure, so it has day and night cycles in the level. So we have to make sure we're on the right cycles throughout the level to get optimal platform movement. So there's a flame skip coming up. This is RTA viable. So you go over here, you just swerve over there, skip that flame, throw that switch over there, skip that flame, and then now we're on the night cycle, but we're trying to get to the day cycle coming up because we need to use this enemy right here. Do that, double jump, do a wall clip there, and then we're actually in the RTA setting you can actually want to wait on the cycle, but you can actually nowadays you can actually I keep saying actually. You can actually go into this door still in the day cycle. It's an even better version of the God cycle for this level. It's a lot harder though. I think it saves like 7 seconds RTA or something like that if you actually get the ultimate God cycle. So yeah, some cycles are better than others. Like during the day cycle, you can grab moves. The night cycle will have some platforms active that aren't usually active during the day, and you really just have to work around like the cycles and what's going to get you. So you can't really do much here. You have to wait for this platform over here, and you have to get this move over here and do some damage boost. Don't want to lose the move. We're gonna we gotta wait on the cycle, and we do a wall clip. There you go, and you skip it. So now we're back on day cycle. Yeah, now we're back on day cycle. So we have to grab the move there, throw the switch, go over here, and then go back on this platform to go to the end. And like I said, this whole level being reliant on cycles is very just complicated, but it's necessary. So yeah, night cycle, now the platforms appear. And yeah, so the final part of the of the level, we actually have to grab a move out of this complicated platform. It's going to be a pixel perfect move grab, and we're going to grab it to skip the whole puzzle, because we have to grab the move to get to the end of the level anyway with the space double jump. So we grab the move right now and go use that, get to the end of the level, and that's also RTA viable as well. That's it. It's not as fast, of course. So yeah, the end of the level is just another auto scroller. I think this is like the last auto scroller section of the run, and this one's very short. It's like only a few seconds. Get some more lives. Even though it's a TAS thing, you never know when you're gonna die. Damage abuse on the flame, get you pushed towards that, and go up the elevator. So now we have Joka. Joka is another boss that is RNG heavily, and as well as just good execution. So we actually have, there's day and night cycles in Joka, only they're triggered by yourself unless you wait too long on attacking him. So he can only be attacked when his like little fists aren't in the way, so his fists can actually block other moves. And that strat, this quick move first phase strat, that's all RTA viable. It's very cool. So now the night cycle, you have to actually light all the platforms up to yellow in order to go back to day cycle. This is part of the boss, so you have to light up all the squares to yellow. So the TAS setting, you kind of just flip-flop back and forth. You can activate these really quickly, and sadly you can't do this in the speedrun this quickly, but you're able to do this. RNG placement, RNG enemy placement, so if the enemies get in the way, they can really screw you over, as well as the more you get damaged, the riskier you are of dying, and dying in bosses in Klonoa is really bad because you have to start from all over again. So now we are going phase 2, so we're gonna get quick move grabs. We're gonna time everything right and kill him there. Get another hit there, and then there you go. That's the boss. And there you go. We just skipped a whole cycle. So we were able to keep Joka in his place by damaging him at the perfect frame, and we're able to just continuously hit him, and then GG's. The boss is done. So the last few levels are some of the best because you just skip everything basically. So this level 6-1, you can literally skip to the end of the level by just grabbing a move and climbing up what would be a puzzle to the end. So you get this move right here, clip out of bounds. You take this move over here, and you go to the end of the level. So this level you have like a bunch of like colored pillars that are blocking your path. But you can actually just use this move to jump over here and then do a space double jump and go. This is the end of the level right here, and there you go. That's the end of the level. What would be a complicated 4 or 5 minute level is less than a minute in both a TAS and RTA setting. So very, very cool. And that's 6-1. 6-2 has more clips, because who doesn't love these clips? These clips are incredible. Has more clips, and it has another. This level is even longer than 6-1, but we're able to just skip it by doing 1 to 2 clips in the level with these moves. And again, it's really amazing that these strats are able to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We have a $5 donation from Taters. Wow, this is the most hardcore Mickey Mouse game I've ever seen. When do they get the ghost vacuum? Great run and great commentary. Thanks, everyone. You can donate now at donate.tasgiving.org and learn more about NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, at nami.org. That's nami.org.
Thanks for the donation. And there you go. That was the wall clip to get to the end of this section of the level. In the speedrun, you can actually do that clip similarly, but it's way more difficult. Optimally, you want to do a clip in a similar location, then you'll actually do another platform skip at the end. But in the TAS, you want to go fast. So Gadius, this is probably the other worst boss in the game. This is another RNG heavily boss. You have Gadius, and he deploys moves, and you have to basically hit him 10 times total. You want to get him 3 times in the first round. In the TAS, you actually hit him 4 times, and we're actually doing the TAS version, which is a lot more difficult and it relies more on the RNG placement of the moves. We're actually going to be getting the last 6 hits on all 6 of these moves. So the TAS cycle, this is actually RTA viable, it's just really hard, and it just relies heavily on RNG. So you're able to kill him even faster. And again, this has been replicated in an RTA setting. It's just really difficult, and only one person I think has done it. So that's Gadius. Very, very, very fast. So now we have the final boss. The final boss, Nahatum. Nahatum has a TAS cycle in the first part of the boss, and this is also actually this one isn't too bad. It's actually pretty easily replicable in an RTA setting, but basically you need to fire up all 6 of these cannons, or 5 of these cannons, and you want to get them all before he winds up to a second phase. So, and another thing to note with Nahatum is, so he has this tongue sticking out right now, and if you actually get hit by his tongue during this phase, it causes a long animation. You lose a crap ton of time. But in the TAS, you can actually just single jump over and barely not hit the hitbox. And now we only need 1 more move, and this is literally going to do it. And this is TAS cycle. So there you go. And the whole goal of TAS cycle is to get the cannons fired up before he does the little like fist slam down, and that destroys the other moves. But yeah, so that was TAS cycle. Second phase involves destroying like these jewels, these like powered jewels, and just doing them quickly and efficiently. And then it's a lot more like simple compared to the first phase, sort of, but be a little more complex. But we actually have the depth of use to get good cycles. We do this in the RTA setting as well. So there'll be a move that spawns. So we get the move right here, and then we have to hit 4 gems. There's 4 in each corner. So these 4 gems. There's 2. And there's only 1 move you can have at a time in this section. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 2 more hits we need to get on the spinning jewel. Again, it can only have 1 move at a time, and it'll appear in momentarily. So, and you want to just do this as fast as you can. So quick move grab, boom, there you go, and then you have the second one right now. There you go. Easy peasy. So the final stage, and this is where time's coming up, Time will be on when the health fully depletes on the boss. So time will coming up less than a minute. So you have the 4 cannons again. You have to basically just fill them up, or 5 cannons, sorry, fill them up, and that'll kill Nahatum in his final form. So you're actually able to. This is RNG too, but since it's a task we want to get good RNG, we're able to barely hit the cannon hitboxes as they go underneath these little like crystal platforms, and we're able to get the good RNG in our favor with the task, and we're able to get most of the cannons. We have 1 more left, and it's gonna be over here. We're able to quick grab. There you go, boom. Time is coming up in a few seconds. So that was the last phase was just hilariously fast, and time will come right now. Time. So yeah, that was Klonoa Door to Phantom Mile. It is a very, very amazing PS1 speedrun and TAS. I actually wasn't supposed to be alone today. Trop was actually supposed to help co-commentate this task, but fortunately he couldn't make it. But I'm glad I got to get some decent commentary out there, I hope. But yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed the task. I hope you guys enjoyed the task, and as well as me explaining some differences between the task and the speedrun. The speedrun, in terms of the speedrun, if anybody's interested in running this, we have a very small Discord, but a lot of helpful people, including myself. Very easy to get into. I know it seems hard, but it's really not, as long as you put the time in. Very fun, and you actually only lose 20 seconds playing on emulator, so you can actually start out on emulator and actually still get competitive times. So yeah, if you're interested in running this game, we have a Discord. So you can find it on speedrun.com /Klonoa, or I'll probably link it in chat if that's okay. I'll probably just link it in chat. And yeah, like I said, you can get started in emulator if you want to do that, and if you want to improve more, you can get the console version. But yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it a lot. And I hope everybody gets more donations in for this event. It's really awesome. I have nothing else to say, but thanks everybody. Appreciate it. I can't plug the Discord. I have to be a follower for 10 more minutes. Whoops. Oh well.